everyone, welcome to this Java Intermediate course by Life Changes Academy. In our beginner session, we learned variables, loops, arrays, methods and other core concepts, right? So now it's time to move into one of the most important topic in Java is object-oriented programming, also known as OOP, okay? Almost every real-world Java app is building using this OOP concept, okay? So without any delay, let's move on to this session. So now we are going to see what is OOP, okay? So OOP stands for Object Oriented Programming. It's a programming style where we create programs using an objects, okay? So what's OOP means? So let's think about things around you like a student, or else it's a mobile phone, or else it's a car and much more, okay? So every object has its own properties, also has its own actions. For example, if mobile phone has their own properties, as well as mobile phone has its own actions. Like the properties means mobile phone has its own brand, okay, like a brand, or else it having a color, and it's having a price, okay? And its actions means it is used to calling, texting and use it to taking of photos, right? So this is how OOP help us to represent these real world objects inside our programs, okay? This will make your code very easier to understand, okay? So you guys want to know what's the purpose of using OOPs, right? OOPs has many advantages. Some of them are, first, it's the reusability. That means we can write code once and use it multiple times, okay? So this is a reusability. And then second one is the maintainability. It means it is easy to fix and update the errors in our code, okay? And then is a scalability. That means as the project code grows, our code remains organized. Our code remains organized. Then security purpose, used to protect the important data. That's why companies use OOPs for building the large applications, okay? So and then we are going to see classes versus object. So what is class? Class is like a blueprint, okay? Object is the actual thing. That means the real thing that is created from the blueprint. So for example, think about a house, okay? Before building a house, an architect creates a blueprint, okay? The blueprint means it's just like a design, okay? The design. So but nobody can live inside a blueprint, right? So when the actual home, the real house is built, that becomes the object. Similarly in Java, a class is a blueprint. Objects are created from the blueprint, okay? This is the major difference between the classes and object. You see the screen, class means the blueprint, the design. The class defines the structure, okay? It doesn't give the real object. It defines the structure. That means their age, their name, their behaviors, okay? Object is the real instances. That means the real thing, okay? All created from the student class. The class, it will created from the classes, okay? This is how the classes and objects overview, okay? So now we are going to see how to creating a class in Java. Okay, how to create a classes in Java means it has a three parts. First, you have to create a class name, or else it's a variables and methods. Okay, so class means it contains the variables as well as the methods. Okay, so variables is nothing but it is used to store the informations. Okay, and methods are just actions. It will define the actions. That means what the object can do. That will be mentioned by the method. Okay, see the code. Class is a keyword, right? Class name is the student name. Class name, and these are the properties for them. For creating an object, string name, integer age, void study, and you have to print something like a studying, okay? So one thing you remind, this class name always start with a capital letter. You should not use any lowercase while creating a class name, okay? Keep it in your mind. Next thing we are going to learn about creating the objects. So how to create an object? So by using the new keyword, whenever you are seeing a word new, you will remind that it will creating a new object, okay? So every object holds its own independent data. Every person has its own data. That means that one data cannot affect the others, okay? So we can create a one object or else multiple objects in our code. Okay, so for creating an objects as well as creating an class, we will see in a practical way so that you guys are more familiar in that. Okay, so I will switch over to the IntelliJ idea so that I will make a code. Okay, so now you see I will creating a new objects. Okay, new class as well as new object. First of all, I am going to create a new class. Okay, so I will create a new class. Syntax is class name. Okay, class name. Okay, and then I will give a properties. I mean give a string name, also integer age. Okay, and I will give a one method. Okay, void study. Okay, I will give a void study. So inside that I will print something like the name. Okay, the string name will be performed here, and then is studying. Okay, studying, and then you have to create a new object. This is how a class will be created. Okay, I will create, now I am creating a new object. Okay, so how you creating an object means student. Okay, I will the class name as well as the object initialized name will be same. Okay, S1, I will mention just S1. Okay, whenever new object is created, we use the new keyword, so keep that in mind. Okay, new student. Okay, so this one will be used to used to align all the values. Okay, so we are using dot operator here. S1 dot name. S1 dot name is equal to something like John. Okay, and then S1 dot age is 50. Okay, now I print the statement. See what happens. Nothing will be print because we didn't mention any print statement inside the main function. Okay, main method. We didn't give any print statement. We will give print statement in this classes. So the print statement inside the main method only be executed. So I'll print something like s1 dot name. Okay, also another one is s1 dot age. Now you see, now the expected output will be John and 50. Okay, John and 50. Now you have one doubt, why this print statement is not executed? Because it is not inside the main method, it is inside the class. Okay, so you want to print the study method means what you are going to do means you have to call the main method inside the you have to call the method inside the main method, s1 dot study. Okay, s1 dot study, you will give that s1 dot study. Why this showing an error means without an semicolon also it will show the error. Okay, s1 dot study is the main method. Okay, it will be given in this place. Okay, I will run this code because after the object creation only we will be using this. Okay, before that using means it will show an error. Okay, I'll run this code. It will show that John is studying. Okay, I will give a space means it will be print as exactly. Okay. Okay, this is how your new object as well as class will be created. Okay, keep it in your mind. Okay, next we are going to see another interesting concept, that is constructors. Okay, what is constructor? A constructor is a special method. Okay, it's a special method that runs automatically when an object is created. Whenever the object is created, the constructor runs automatically. Its main purpose is to initialize the object. Okay, the constructor must always share the exact same name as its class. Okay, so to complete for the complete idea of constructor, I need to code one program so that you will understand this concept very clearly. Okay, I open this one I will creating a class. I will code from scratch. Okay. I will remove this one. Okay. No need this. Also, I will erase this also. Okay. Now you see that I will creating a student. Okay. I will creating a class student. Also, I will have a new object. The whenever you see a new keyword, you will assume that this is a new object. Okay. So inside, I will have a one method inside the class. Okay. That is the constructor. Okay. The student of. Okay. Student of. Whenever you are printing something inside this object is created. Okay, whenever you are calling this name, okay, calling this constructor, whenever you are calling this constructor as a method and you print something, this will be execute first. Okay, I run this code. This is object is created. So whenever you the constructor is created, that one is the executed first. Okay. This is the main thing. We never call the constructor manually, but it's still executed automatically. Okay. I didn't call this method right. In the before program and all, I will call the method study, but I didn't call this method. Okay. It will be executed automatically. That is the special behavior of the constructor. Okay, in the previous session and all, I will imported the study method here, right? But in this one I didn't call this method. It will be executed automatically because this one is the constructor. Okay, constructor is executed automatically. Okay, this is how the constructor will be work. Next we are going to see same name as class name, no return type, not even void. Okay. Okay, now you see the three important rules about constructor. The first one is constructor name must be exactly same as the class name. Okay, class name and constructor name will be same. The second condition will be constructor do not have any return type, not even void. Okay, the third thing is constructor or called automatically when an object is created. Okay, it will be called automatically. We didn't mention that method in the main method. Okay, this is the three main thing that the constructor holds. Okay, next thing we are going to learn about instance variables. Instance variables are declared inside a class are called instance variable. The variables which are declared inside a class, okay, that variables are not instance variable. Okay, every object gets its own copy of this variable. Okay, let's see a simple example of instance variable so that you will be understand this concept somewhat clearly. Okay, I'll open this code. I will inside the class that the variables which are declared inside this class is called as instance variable. These are called instance variable. Okay, string name, int age are called instance variable. Okay, and then now I will creating a new object that is student s1 and and then I will print this one. Okay, s1 dot name, s1 dot name, the previous example only. I will just say what is instance variable. Okay, I will print John. Okay, and I will print the s1 dot name. When you run this code, the expected output will be John, right? Yes. So these variables inside the class, okay, int age, or else you will use double salary. Okay, double salary. So these variables inside the class is called as instance variable. Okay, now I hope you understand what is instance variable, right? The variables that are present inside the class. Okay, that are the instance variable. How many objects we will create many objects. Okay, it's not has an any limit. Then another one is accessing the object data. We already see that dot operator, right? We will using the dot operator. You call the name, right? The dot operator acts as a bridge between the object and its member. Okay, to access variables and method inside an object. Okay, listen carefully. To access the variables and methods inside an object, that time we are using the dot operator. Okay, using the dot operator we can read the value, also we can update the value, also we can call the methods. Okay, so this is how the dot operator works. S1 dot name equal to John means you have to print S1 dot name. We already seen this one, right? And then I hope you understand the all the concept I taught, and this is your simple task I will give you. So you will creating a class, okay, by using the syntax class name. Okay, you will creating a class employee, and you will have a very employee name as well as employee ID. Also creating a class as well as creating an object also. I already said how to creating an object, right? And you have to print the value and display both the fields. Okay, also creating a second employee object. I say that you have to create many objects. Okay, so you have to do this for 4 tasks and make practice. Okay, without any practice you didn't understand any concept. Okay, make practice. So thank you so much for your patience. Keep learning with Life Changers Academy. Thank you guys.